Hi children, how are you? I hope everyone is fine. Yeah, good. Children, today we are going to learn about chemical reactions and equations. It is the first topic of your grade 10 chemistry. Okay? Now let us see the title, Chemical Reactions and Equations. Chemical reaction. What do you mean by a chemical reaction? Chemical reaction is nothing but when two or more substances combine chemically and give out two or more or even sometimes one substance which will be different from the previous substances which involved in the reaction. That is nothing but chemical equation. For example, if we take an example like hydrogen, when it combines with oxygen, it gives us water. So, when you take any substances, when they combine together and combine chemically and giving out the new substances which are different from the initial ones, that is nothing but the chemical equation. I think I am clear. Okay, once again I am repeating. Chemical equation is nothing but the process in which two or more reactants give rise to one or more products of different chemical properties. Is nothing but chemical reaction. Okay, so this is one of the examples, the best examples we are having. Okay, we can take n number of examples in our day-to-day life, and every day you respire yourself. Okay, you breathe in and again you breathe out. But when you are breathing in, you are taking oxygen, but when you are breathing it out, you are releasing out carbon dioxide. Both are different. So from where you get the carbon dioxide? By the process called respiration in your lungs, that is giving out the carbon dioxide. So the respiration is one of the chemical processes. Okay, and you eat food every day. Yes, the food what you are taking will be getting digested in the stomach in the presence of so many enzymes and giving you out energy, carbon dioxide, some waste, feces and everything. Okay, that is also one of the chemical reactions. And even cooking of food, okay, that is also one of the chemical reactions. In our day-to-day life, if you observe, we can find so many such examples. Okay, now let us come to the second part of this topic, that is equation. Chemical equation. What do you mean by chemical equation? Let us see. Chemical equation is nothing but the reaction what it was in words. If it is represented by symbolically, every element will be having its symbol and compound will be having its formula, or even elements also will be having the formula if it is consisting of more than one atoms in the formula. Okay, so those are called the formula. So symbolic representation of chemical change or chemical reaction is nothing but chemical equation. The same example what we gave for the chemical reaction, I am writing in terms of symbolic notation. See here, hydrogen combined with oxygen to give you water. Clear children? Hydrogen combined with oxygen to give you the water. Okay, this is the equation and this is a chemical reaction. Chemical reaction and equation. Okay, and now we are going to learn in detail about chemical reactions and equations. Actually, how do we identify that chemical reaction is taken place? That is a big question and challenging for every one of us. Okay, so to identify that one, every chemical reaction must be characterized by one or more characteristics. Okay, so about all the characteristics of a chemical reaction will be understanding by the next part. Thank you. Yeah, children. Now see characteristics of chemical reactions. By observing the following characteristics, we can come to a conclusion that the chemical reaction is taken place. Okay, out of them, the first one is evolution of gas. One of the characteristic features is evolution of gas. Okay, so for that we take the easiest example generally we do in the laboratory. Okay, when zinc, Zn is the zinc, reacts with the dilute sulfuric acid, okay, it gives you zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas. Okay, when zinc reacts with the dilute sulfuric acid, it gives you zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas. This hydrogen gas comes out in the form of bubbles and all that. Okay, now let us see that one. How we are going to see the reaction happening through the small activity. Okay. Yeah, this is zinc granules, and this is the dilute hydrochloric sulfuric acid. Okay children, now I am adding this zinc granules to the sulfuric acid. I already took some zinc granules into this conical flask and I am adding sulfuric acid to it. Okay, now you can see the bubbling and all those. Okay, pass. Children, you can observe the bubbles releasing from the zinc granule. Are you able to identify that? Yes, small bubbles are coming up. That bubbles nothing but hydrogen gas. Okay children, are you able to see? Very clearly it is visible here, bubbles and all those. Yes children? Yeah, okay. So from that activity we understood that zinc when reacted with the dilute sulfuric acid giving out zinc sulfate and the hydrogen gas. So gas is evolved here. That's why it is known as the characteristic known as evolution of gas. It is characterized by evolution of the gas. Now come to the second one, that is formation of a precipitate. What it is? Formation of a precipitate. Precipitate is nothing but solid substance which may not dissolve in the solution. Okay, and here we are taking the example of barium chloride and sodium hydrochloric sulfuric acid. Barium chloride and sulfuric acid. When barium chloride combined with sulfuric acid, it is giving you barium sulfate and hydrochloric acid. Barium sulfate and hydrochloric acid. This barium sulfate doesn't dissolve in the formed solution. That's why it will be just becoming as a precipitate. PPT indicates it is a precipitate, and the arrow mark downwards also indicating that it is not soluble in the solution. That's why it is settling. It will be the arrow mark towards down, and hydrochloric acid is produced. Okay children, the same one let us see in the activity form. Yes, this is barium chloride, salt, and this is a sulfuric acid. Okay, and this barium chloride prepared in the form of solution. I am taking small quantity in the water and I prepared the solution of barium chloride. Okay, and I am going to add this sulfuric acid into this barium chloride. Now you observe here what is going to happen. Okay children, and be careful when you are handling the sulfuric acid. You have to keep them away from your body and handle carefully. And it's not mean that you have to keep on someone's body, but it should be away from every one of you and your friends and all. Children, are you able to see the precipitation formation? Precipitate. Yes children. So this is barium sulfate and hydrochloric acid. Okay children, clear? Yeah, this is the precipitation. Yeah children. So you saw the reaction happened with the barium chloride and sulfuric acid to produce barium sulfate and hydrochloric acid. How this precipitate formed, white precipitate, you observed it in the previous reaction. Am I right children? Now let us see the third case. Third case is change in color. So when any reaction takes place, there might be some change in the color of the reactants. The new color will be identified once the reaction has taken place. Okay, so let us take one easiest example. Potassium permanganate. Every one of us know very well. It is giving you very beautiful purple color. Am I right? Yeah. This potassium permanganate when reacts with the citric acid. Here citric acid I am taking one of the citrus fruits every day we are using. Okay, and we prepare lemonade. Yes, the lemon is containing of so much of citric acid in it. Okay, all the citrus fruits means which are sour in taste, lemon, orange, all those will be having so much of citric acid in them. So I am taking some juice of the citric acid, lemon, okay, and potassium permanganate solution. When these two combine each other, you will be getting potassium permanganate is in purple color and citric acid little light yellowish color. You can see the liquid. Okay, when both combine together, you can identify the change of color of this potassium permanganate purple color, and its color is going to be colorless. Okay, now shall we see the reaction? Children, you know very well this potassium permanganate. Many times you might have seen even this potassium permanganate tablets can be used to purify the water. Okay, so this potassium permanganate taken into the test tube and took some water and prepared the solution. This is a potassium permanganate solution. How beautiful! Yes, purple color. I am not taking the total solution, I am just taking a little quantity. Okay. Clear? Are you able to see the color? The purple color of potassium permanganate. And this is citric acid. Nothing but lemon juice. You know very well lemon juice. Now I am going to add these two. Just see the change of color. I am just dropping drop by drop through the walls of the test tube. You can see the change of color of potassium permanganate, which is in purple, changing into colorless. Yes? Yeah. You could see the color is completely disappeared. Yes? So this is accompanied by the characteristic known as change in color. Yes, children? Good. Yeah, children. Okay. So now you have seen the reaction between potassium permanganate and citric acid. How the potassium permanganate lost its color and became colorless, you identified. So this character is nothing but what? What is the characteristic? Change in color. Okay. Now fourth characteristic feature is change in temperature. Means here it may happen in two ways. Sometimes heat will be evolved and sometimes heat will be absorbed. If heat is evolved, such type of reactions are known as exothermic reactions, and if heat is absorbed, that is called endothermic reaction. Heat is produced or evolved, that is called exothermic reaction, and heat is absorbed, then that is called endothermic reaction. Let us take one example for heat is evolved. When you take the calcium oxide, another common name is quicklime. When quicklime is combined with the water, it gives you calcium hydroxide, which is known as slaked lime. What is it called? Slaked lime. Okay? And heat is produced. Clear, children? And this is a quicklime. And this is a slaked lime. Okay? When quicklime reacts with the water, gives you slaked lime, calcium hydroxide, and heat produced. Now shall we see this reaction? Yes, let us see. Children, see here. This is calcium oxide, which is nothing but slaked lime. You can see how it looks. It is white powder. Just white powder. Okay? I took some amount of slaked lime. Sorry, it is quicklime. Okay? Calcium oxide quicklime, white color powder. Okay? I took some amount of quicklime into a test tube and I am adding few drops of water to this one. Okay? Yes, it is formed into the solution, and which is nothing but slaked lime, and if you just hold this, it will be very hot, but you cannot feel it, but I am feeling here it is very hot. Believe me. Yes, trust me, it is hot. That means here chemical reaction took place and heat is evolved. So here the characteristic feature of this reaction is evolution of heat. Okay? One more example we will take. Okay? Yeah. Now one more example we are going to see the evolution of the heat is, here we are taking magnesium ribbon. What it is? Magnesium ribbon. When you burn the magnesium ribbon, it gives out the light and heat. Okay? And this magnesium ribbon generally reacts with the atmospheric oxygen and just form like a layer, white layer will be formed on the surface. And it will not catch the flame very quick. That's why before we are lighting it, we have to clean the surface of this magnesium and ribbon ends with the help of sandpaper. Okay? Like this you have to just clean the edges. Okay? Now I already cleaned this one with the help of this holder. I just taking this magnesium ribbon and keeping on the flame. Then you can see it will take the flame, it will burn with a very bright light, dazzling light. And children, remember, don't see this light directly. It is not good at all. And here if you see the around surrounding it, it will be releasing off so much of heat and the light also. So this is another characteristic feature of chemical reactions, that heat is produced as well as light also is produced. Clear children? Magnesium when burns in the oxygen, it gives you magnesium oxide. This ash if you see, this is a magnesium oxide. Okay children? Yeah children. So change in temperature you observed two different examples. One is with the quicklime when added with the water produced slaked lime and heat. And one more example, we took magnesium we burn. Magnesium when burned in the oxygen, it is giving out magnesium oxide. Okay, here we have to balance the equation. Next part you will be understanding how to balance the equations. So magnesium burned in oxygen gives out magnesium oxide, heat, and one more, what is the dazzling light? Very bright light you have seen. Okay, don't see the light, very bright light with your naked eyes, which leads to the damage of eyesight. Okay children, now the fifth characteristic feature here we can understand is change in state. Change in state, physical state, maybe from liquid to gas, solid to liquid, or gas to the liquid, some different ways. Okay, so how it is happening with one example, let us see. And the best example is when there is power cut at home, what do? Immediately we run for candle or the torchlight or something. Nowadays we are having inverters and the batteries and all those charging lights and all. But olden days and the villagers, even now they go for candle. Okay, so now let us see what are the changes you can see in the candle. Okay children, now we are able to see the candle here. Yes, here in this candle the wick is burning with the help of the candle wick wax. This is a wax which is in the solid state. Yes, with the help of this wax, this wick is giving out the flame. When it is giving out the flame, if you observe, you can find out the vapors on its surroundings. Some vapors will be produced and this solid is changing into liquid. You can identify it is changing into the liquid. Okay, the drops you can see. Yes, are you able to see the drops? That means this solid is changing into the liquid. Some amount of this wax is getting evaporated. So from solid to the liquid and liquid to the gaseous form. So this is nothing but one more examples for change in the state of the substances. Okay, so the characteristic of change in the state of substance is, one of the best examples is this candle. Clear children?